Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining our special joint seminar between the applied mathematics and physical mathematics and mathematics and life sciences. So our special speaker today is head of research division, Lee Hwee Kuan of A-Star Bioinformatics Institute, which is a premier network of research institutes in Singapore. And Igor Lee has multiple appointments, including the A-Star Center for Frontier AI Research, and his group has wide-ranging interests in applications and fundamentals of machine learning and AI tools in clinical and life sciences. And without further ado, it's my great pleasure to welcome Igor to tell us about the how we can use artificial intelligence to enhance physical simulations. Over to you.
Thank you, Igor and Oliver and collaborator. We have been collaborating for several years with joint PhD students. So really want to thank them for hosting and inviting me, and also thank everybody today to spend your time so that I can share our work with you. Am I too sound? I'm okay, right? Okay. All right. So yeah, we do many things. And when I was invited, I was asking Igor what should I talk about. Maybe I go through a little bit of the overview of our lab, and then I will talk about physics simulation using AI. And I think as in most of the seminar that I give, I think it should be more of a discussion session than a seminar. And then we can discuss science, and then we have good scientific conversation. So if you have any questions, just stop me so that we can discuss. So yeah, 4 areas of key research focus: spatial omics, digital pathology, cardiac imaging, drug discovery, and AI in physics. I'll go through quickly, but of course you can stop me and we can discuss. Yeah. So this is a slide for spatial omics and digital pathology. Spatial omics is really a biological kind of very biology-centric kind of work, where we can look at the RNAs, individual RNA molecules in each cell. So imagine you have a piece of tissue and you have cells, and under high power microscope, you can actually see the cells and things like this. Yeah, you can see the cell strands and so on, right? So, but with spatial omics, you could also see RNA molecules in the cell, each cell. And you can figure out, okay, this cell has what RNA molecule, its neighbor has what expression, gene expression, RNA molecules, and its neighbor has the neighbor, so on and so forth. So this is very powerful in terms of the diagnostics and drug discovery. We use this for drug discovery. Okay. So here I explain this slide first. So we have traditional H and E stain, the top panel. The center panel is clinical data and genomic annotation about genomics. Okay, and this spatial omics, right? So spatial omics is the one where we can see the cell and see the RNA molecules. It's important to be able to see RNA molecules because you know what the cell is doing, or you know what a cell is thinking, right? Or doing, right? So this is important. And we use this for drug discovery because we pair this spatial omics data with H and E stain, digital pathology images, where for many decades, pathologists has been trained to look at such image and trained to tell where are the, for example, cancer, where are the cancers, right? Which area of the image are cancer cells, for example, right? They are trained to look at different kind of lesions. And if we pair this with spatial omics, we know where are the lesions or where are the bad guys, and we know their molecular expression when we pair this up. when we know their molecular expression, we can start thinking about which molecules has causal effect in a disease. And this is target discovery. So we kind of trying to figure out which are the molecules we should design a drug to target to interfere with this molecule. So we use this for drug discovery. Also, we also develop AI model. This is just digital pathology. For one AI model for multiple cancers, we have 10 over cancers. And for each cancer type, there are different parts. Like this one is the grading standard of the cancer type. Lung cancer is AJCC, prostate cancer is Gleason, so on and so forth, right? So for each cancer type, we have a different criteria for grading the cancer, low grade or high grade. And for each cancer type, we have different biomarkers. And these biomarkers are developed through many decades, through many research that people use, I don't know, many millions of dollars spent to identify the biomarkers. And for all cancer types, there are fraction genome portals. And so, in the genome, what is the percentage of the genome that are mutated, right? We relapse, we have tumor purity. That means in this cancer, the tissue, how many percent of the tissue is actually tumor, and then we have staging. So you can see cancer specific tasks and non-cancer specific tasks. Okay, so we want to develop one AI model that takes in any cancer type and predict, for example, predict prostate cancer, predict is high grade or low grade, and predict relapse, predict tumor purity, things like this. So we are also developing foundation model. These two projects, actually those are two projects are very closely related. This one we have not used spatial omics. This one we use spatial omics. Okay. So this the digital pathology work that we are doing. The next one is cardiac imaging. I just show you a video of we have developed this over the past 4 years, and now we have licensed this technology to a company, and they're starting and they're trying to sell it. So what this is about, this is CT coronary angiography. So this is the heart. So angiography, they do a CT, heart CT, data CT, so that they can look at the heart with a CT scan. There's two kinds of CT scan here. One is a non-contrast CT, just CT, data CT. The other one is where they inject contrast agent. The contrast agent go to the heart, go to the artery. When you feel the artery, you do a CT scan so that you can trace the artery. Okay, so this is a platform that we have developed, so doctors can go to their office, use their laptop, log in, and then look at the cases. Okay, let me see. I play this one. Okay. So, okay, log in, and we have the patients. And then this is for the calcium score. Let me see if I could pause a little bit, yeah? Okay, so you can see this is non-contrast CT, where we take the CT of the heart, the calcium, which is basically like stones, right? Calcium will come out white. This also calcium, but this is spinal cord. These are the artery calcium, right? Come out white. So we detect the white spots. And our AI have to understand, okay, this is not artery calcium, these are spinal cord, so on and so forth. We have to understand these are annotated by AI. We have to understand. And then for each white spot there's arterial calcium, your label is a left vein, left artery is still left circumflex, and RCA is the right column artery. So we have to, the AI have to be trained to recognize which part of the white spot are calcium artery and which artery are they. And then give some scoring based on the volume, the intensity of the calcium, give some scoring. Okay, so this is for calcium. Let me just make it faster. This is epicardial adipose tissue. Is really the fat around the heart that we do segmentation. We segment out the fat. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, this is stenosis report. Is reporting the narrowing of the blood vessel. Yeah, these are the 3 blood vessels that our AI trace out the lumen. And after, of course, blood vessel is not straight, it trace out. And then in the software, we straighten it. So we present to the doctors which part is narrowing minimal, narrowing, moderate narrowing, and so on and so forth. Okay. And there's also some scoring there. Okay. And yeah, this is the same thing, but classify the blood as classified, non-classified, or partially classified. And in the end, we can generate a report. Yeah, report like this. Okay. So yeah, for this work, doctors will take 1 to 3 hours depending on the severity of the case. It's very severe case, it takes a very long time to look through the CT. With our platform, they can finish their job in 10 minutes. Okay. So this is really a productivity tool for doctors. Okay. Okay, this is another project where we look at this catheter kind of angiography where they put a wire through the hand all the way to the heart, and you can see this the wire, you can see the wire there. And actually this X-ray video is X-ray, it's not a CT, it's X-ray. So, and then they'll inject an ink. When they inject the ink, you can see the artery. And you can see here, some narrowing here. For example, narrowing here. With the ink, you can see the narrowing. Here, there's some narrowing here and here, you see. So these are true labels labeled by human, and we develop a transformer neural network to predict the narrowing of this work. Yeah, this artery. Okay, this next project, sorry, many projects in the lab. So this drug discovery project, I'm working with this faculty, his name is Alfan. What he does is really traditionally, he do docking. Given a protein and a target, he have a library of chemicals and ask the question, which chemical can interfere with this protein? Because they have to interfere, they have to bind, they have to be thermodynamically stable, and so on and so forth, right? So he has such library. So traditionally, people use docking or molecular dynamics. It takes really long. If he's going to screen through 100,000 molecules, chemicals, it's taking really long. So he used some machine learning method to predict the binding of chemicals to targets. This person, Yao Shen, he don't have library, he don't use library. Okay, so for this one, we have a pocket. You know the protein, you know the pocket. He asks the question, what kind of chemicals can bind? And just like Lego block, we generate small fragment to fit into this pocket, and you can generate 2 or 3 small fragments, put them together into this pocket, so on and so forth. So we use reinforcement learning for this. Yeah. And this is the third project where this basically physics project where we speed up molecular dynamics simulations. molecular dynamics simulation, basically we have molecules, right? And then you use Newton's law to simulate the simulation molecules, protein or other kind of molecules. So yeah, molecular dynamics simulation is really slow. It's not good enough for protein. Of course, people are still using, but we all wish the world wish it could have been faster, right? If MD is speed up by 1,000-fold, then we are in really good shape because there's amount of speed up that's required for real physics, real protein simulation. So we use AI to speed up molecular dynamics simulation, and these are the radial distribution function. Basically, it says that for each molecule at some radius r, what's the probability of having the molecule at some radius r? Okay, so this is a standard measure. I think if people here, you are from doing condensed matter physics, you're familiar with this, right? So at those simulations, molecular dynamics simulation AI, we can see a two-curve overlap basically. Yes, very accurate. And of course, our AI is speeding up by 10 times. I wish 1,000, but no, 10 times is already very difficult. So, okay, these are other theoretical AI work where we study robustness of AI. We study large language model. We study in context learning. When you use large language model, you put in prompts, right? You ask question, it give you some answer. A question is no good. You ask more prompts, you give you answer you want, right? So this is called in context learning. So you ask question, you put it in a prompt in, so that it can give you better answer. So we study this kind of phenomena, and we ask the question of X is the original prompt, and X prime is a prompt plus a hint. X prime is the hint. So X prime is a hint, X is the original prompt. Okay. So if you put in X and X prime, prompt with the hint, with some model parameters B, some weights, you give some output O. You give some output O. Okay. So ask a question. What if we do not want to give a hint, but we change the model parameters? Right here, there's no hint, but we change the model parameter to give exactly the same output. Exactly the same. Well, of course, this is a linear model, you can get an exact output, right? So we study how to build the hint into the model weights. Okay. And the B prime are the new model weights that is given by equation 14, 15. Yeah. The third subject is really to overcome small data problem, overfitting and small data problem. We use this very physics inspired. We use the thermodynamics properties, and we want to maximize entropy or minimize the heating loss. Basically minimizing the heat energy. Yeah, we are writing out a paper on this also. If you are interested, we can discuss about this later. Sorry, I'm just going through quite fast. Okay, any question up to here? All good. Okay, sorry, I'm just going very fast overview. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the using AI for physics. I'm going to talk about three projects. One of the projects is using AI for spin dynamics. We did this some years ago before we do the molecular dynamics. The molecular dynamics project, we also submitted paper, but this was published some years ago. First, we do spin dynamics, and now we do molecular dynamics. Spin dynamics is much easier. It's really a magnetic system. Okay, so you have a piece of magnet. You zoom in, you see the crystal lattice. Here, I just draw a 2D lattice, right? You see a crystal lattice, and on each crystal lattice side, you will see the magnetic spin, dipole, and so electron, orbital dipole and so on and so forth. Okay, okay. So magnet has a south pole and north pole because all these spins are aligned. So overall, you experience a magnetic field, right? Okay. Well, but really these spins are not really completely aligned, but in a real magnetic room temperature, they are oscillating, just like we have I don't know plastic. You look at molecules, they're not just there, right? They're vibrating, right? They're vibrating, right? So spin is the same, right? At room temperature, they are just oscillating. At absolute zero Kelvin, they are just aligned. Okay, at room temperature, they are oscillating. Okay, so we want to do a simulation of this spin, and they are precessing about some magnetic field depending on their neighbor. So they are all interacting. This spin, when it's moving, it causes this to move. When it's moving, it causes this to move, and so on and so forth. They are precessing depending on how the neighbor is precessing. If the neighbor is precessing a lot, you will precess a lot. Okay. So this is a really multi-body problem, right? Just like molecules, if molecules are vibrating, if this guy is vibrating a lot, this guy is vibrating a lot. Okay. So we are doing just this kind of spin dynamic simulation. This slide, there's no AI in this slide. This is just a background of how we do spin dynamics simulation. Basically, sigma is the set of spin. So SI is individual spin. This S1, S2, S3, S4. This whole thing is sigma, right? The set of spins. This whole thing is sigma. Okay. You have 100 spin, and each spin can point in the 3-dimensional space is just 100 times 3, right? Of course, there's a constraint where the magnitude of spin is constant. Then there's a differential equation we have to solve. Yeah, this is a differential equation we have to solve, and R hat is really the operator. If people are familiar with differential equation, you will be familiar with this, right? D sigma dt equals to some operator that operate on the t, right? And this operator is generally a differential operator. Okay, so we call it a time evolution operator, and we can break this operator into two, RA and RB. Let me see if I have, yeah, here. So the blue spin and the red spin, we take this square lattice and break them into two sub-lattice, blue and red. Okay. These red guys see the four blue neighbor. Red guy never see red guy. So we just do a neighboring. These blue guys see the four neighboring red guys. So red guys never see red guys. Blue guys never see blue guys. Blue guys see the red spin. Okay. So in this way, we can write this as these two lattice, and these are non-interacting, but of course we put them together better. So we can write this as, of course we write a Hamptonian to specify the dynamics, and we write this as the overall operator is R, and we break the operator into two sublattice. It's called RA and RB. And the formal solution of this differential equation is this. Okay, this is where tau do not need to be a small time step, can be a big time step. Okay, so we use a symbiotic algorithm. We can break this using the Suzuki throttle decomposition. Right. Okay. So, and then we solve. Okay. And okay, when we solve this, we have to use a small time step numerical solution. Time step is about the limit of time step in some dimensions. Okay. Larger time step will create errors in solving the differential equation. Okay. So There's no AI yet. This is just physics. Okay, just physics. So now comes the AI. Okay. So now we want to do a large time step. Okay. This is 0.1, right? We want to do a large time step. When we do a large time step without using AI, we experience error. And we compute and we say, oh, it's no good, right? 0.04 now is 0.1, right? So what we do is we tell ourselves, never mind, it's large error, never mind. I just do one large time step, come to here. I think if the correct answer, we use very small time step. We come to here. This is like almost exact. Calculate one. See, large time step, never mind. We come to here. Of course, the y-axis is some arbitrary configuration space, right? It's high dimension, right? Come to here. And then, okay. So we do a large time step, there's some error. So why not we learn the error correction? Okay, error correction. Okay, and we do this many times. We do small time steps many times, 100,000, a million times. We do this large time step 100,000, a million times. So we have the pair. We have this, and this. Okay, we have the circle, field, empty circle, and triangle. We have the pair. This is to prepare the training data. Okay. Okay. If for training to prepare data, we do slow simulation, no problem. It's just to train the AI. Okay, no problem. Okay. And then we have these three. Of course, if we have this one, we know the error. Right? And we develop a neural network to, let me skip a little bit. A neural network to learn the error correction. Okay, we use the simple unit to learn the error correction. So input is the field circle and the triangle. Because we do not have the empty circle, right? Empty circle, you have to do long simulation. Okay, during inference, when you use the AI, you do not have the empty circle. You have the field circle and the triangle. Triangle, you get just one large time step. Okay, but we use the empty circle to calculate the errors. Okay, and this neural network will output error in the spin configuration. And to output the error of the spin configuration, we use the field circle. Okay. Now this one is this prediction. This is the exact. Okay, this is a field circle, empty circle. This is the triangle. This is the empty circle, and we minimize this loss. We change the neural network. Okay. Any question up to now? Okay. So during inference, we don't have the empty circle. We just predict. We do the deep learning correction. Field circle, go to triangle. Ask our trained neural network what is error. Tells me what's the error. Do the correction. Go to the blue circle. And then do a large time step again. Go to the triangle and ask the neural network what's the error. Give me the error. Please bring the correction and so on and so forth. So during inference, we do not need to have a slow simulation. So this we can speed up. Okay. So here are some results showing the accuracy of our simulations. We use correlation, that is spin alignment. The exact spin where we get from the slow simulation, this is just for benchmarking, and the spin of the overall prediction. If they are aligned, of course, error aligned, we do a dot product is 1, right? Error is 0. 1 means error is 0. They are not aligned, they could be negative or something, right? So in this plot, you can see 1 means error is 0. Okay, this is simulation time. In some dimensionless time, we simulate. Okay, and you can see here, the red one is time step 10 to the minus 3. without deep learning. That's the accurate one, 10 to minus 3. Okay. The yellow one, the blue text in the yellow box is 10 to the minus 1 with deep learning. It's 100 times faster, bigger time step. Okay. The yellow one is 10 to the minus 2 without deep learning. So you can see this yellow line and the blue line, they are kind of together, right? The error is the same, right? So the yellow line is 10 to the minus 2 times that without deep learning. The blue line is 10 to the minus 1 with deep learning. That means the deep learning process has a 10 times bigger time step. Okay, 10 times bigger time step. Okay, this is for low temperature. Of course, 10 to the minus 1 without deep learning. You compare the black line with the blue line. Black line is that, right? Okay. Okay. So this is critical temperature when we use this for the spin dynamics. When there is a phase transition, second order phase transition, you can see this yellow and blue line, they're together. This is 10 times bigger time step than this one. And this high temperature, yellow and blue line, they're together. So at high temperature, the correlation really dropped really fast, okay? Because it's very disordered. At high temperature, the spin are very disordered. So error propagate very fast. At low temperature, they are okay. So this is other properties like conservation energy and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, as a kind of 10 times speed up in the simulation. In terms of time step. Okay. All right. So any question? Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit more about the system that you're solving? So this matrices are A and are B, and are they dense, are they sparse?
Are they dense?
They're dense, yeah, they're dense.
Because each leaf has receives 4 neighbors. So the matrix is let's say you have 10 spin each with X, Y, Z component. And this will be a vector to represent this 10 spin, be a vector of 30, right? The matrix is 30 by 30.
The matrix is 30 by 30.
Yeah. Yes. In this case. Of course, we simulate like thousands by thousands.
The interaction is fast.
The interaction is space fast. Just look at the neighbor. Everybody look at four neighbors.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, we use a cubic lattice. Actually, everybody look at up, down, left, right, from that.
Okay.
6 neighbors.
And so what you do is you compute negative exponentials like accurately or like
No, we just do a small time steps. So I don't have equation here, so it's going to be
so you use the splitting methods.
yeah, this is a matrix, right? This is a differential equation. This is a matrix.
Yeah.
So I use a small time step to update, right? In the non-AI method.
Yeah, but use the splitting below.
Yeah.
After within the splitting, you compute these exponentials accurately.
No. After the splitting, we just solve this differential equation for the blue sublattice by a small time step. Because after splitting, there was an error here.
Yeah.
If you use a too large time step, this guy is going to pass.
Yeah.
So we have to update the blue sublattice a little bit.
Yeah.
Update the red one.
No, that's splitting. Yeah. But so have you also tried like some higher order splitting?
Yeah, we could like 4th order Suzuki counter, right? It's very complicated. Yeah, people try that. Yeah.
But so what is it? So have you
No.
compared the cost there? Okay, because then you could use a larger time step as well.
Yeah. We haven't tried that.
Okay.
It's
These exponentials, you compute them accurately. So you use like matrix exponential, or do you do some?
It's written as exponential, but then we just we have a chop here and we just sigma A some just explanation RB RA how so something like this. Of course, there is coupled. This is coupled, right? You know, we update this one. We don't do compute explanation. We just for this one we can calculate the effective rate. Okay. So we don't compute the explicitly. We can.
Yeah, does the network depend that you train depend on the size of the system? So
Yes.
would you need to train a new one if you changed the size
Uh,
of the
It's a very good question, actually. Here we only train for one lattice, but these are convolutional neural network. So the convolutional neural network can, because it is a convolution, so the neural network only look at the neighborhood. So for convolution neural network, once you train, you can use it to process a bigger lattice. But we haven't actually do the experiment. There are issues beyond convolution because small lattice and big lattice physically they behave little bit differently. So you train on the small lattice, it learns the physics of the small lattice and use on the big lattice. It can be used by the big lattice inherently a little bit different because some correlation length and it's a little bit different. Okay. Yes.
How does the training time compare to the runtime when you're actually trying to compute? Presumably you want to compute like thermodynamic quantities because that's some this.
Training time is long, at least 10 or 100 times long. Training time is long.
Yes. Compared to the runtime.
Compared to run. Yeah. Because
Then you save a factor of 10 on runtime.
on the runtime training. Yes. But training time we can train it and after we training we go inside our program and we can produce. Yeah, training time is always long.
So I guess if you wanted to look at long time scale, I think you're better to do it with training.
Training with long time scale.
And if you want to analyze slow phenomena in the material.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to calculate things that happen very quickly, this wouldn't be a good thing. But if you want to look at slow evolution, it's better.
Yeah, so yeah, but the training is just one training of one step. But we do have problem of the very slow. This is same spin dynamics and molecular dynamics is always same. Either with AI or without AI, it's always same. You see at low temperature, the dynamics are relatively slow, right? So you can get accuracy, right? At high temperature, simulation time as time go, the errors just this part is really bad. Yeah.
What is this parameter we're looking at on the graph? What is the y
Yeah,
axis?
the alignment of the truly exact solution. We never had truly exact solution. We just do a really long, like naive simulation, but very small time set to get it really accurate. And then the alignment of this so-called truly exact and the predicted faster one. If the alignment is good, with that one, right? You see it drops to 0, drops to at high temperature. So yeah. Even with a classical method, the correlation time is pretty bad. Yeah, thanks for your question. Good questions. Should I go on? Yeah. So this one is solving focal plane equation. Solving the inverse problem of the focal plane equation. And focal plane equation is a general equation is used to calculating stochastic systems. So instead of doing spin like this, This actually not stochastic. We look at probability instead of, imagine just now we look at spin, right? Instead of saying the spin is pointing in this direction, but I'm just saying is with some probability distribution is pointing in some direction. Okay, we will walk through this focal plane equation. Yeah. Where P of X is the probability of finding a particle somewhere at location X, or X can be a position in three-dimensional space, or could be a orientation of the spin. Okay, P of X. Okay, and this P depends on time. Okay, this probability is depends on time. Let's say I have a box. This is my box. I put my molecules, I arrange them perfectly at time 0, at room temperature. At time 0, the probability of this configuration is the delta function. They are there, right? I put them. Then I let go, right? Because at room temperature, they are going to wiggle and so on and so forth, right? So the probability at time 0, let's say this is X. I put configuration like that, right? This is probability, right? XT. At time 0, they are there. Okay, it's a delta function, right? Because I put my molecules there. Okay, and I let go, right? As soon as I let go, let's say at time 1, while with some arbitrary units of time, right? At time 2, at time 3, something will change, right? So here, the probability distribution actually change with time. Okay, and focal plane equation is an equation, actually is an approximate equation to describe such a system, a general such system, but it is very commonly used. Okay, so it's governed by this equation. A and B only depends on X. A and B are the properties of the system. Okay, let's say I have a just diffusive system. My A is 0 and I have B. Actually, it's not B squared. Okay, just put B. Okay, if I don't have this, is a diffusion equation, right? Right, but my system may have an electric field, so things tend to move in one direction, or you may have some very complicated electric field or gravity or some very complicated system, right? So if it's a general complicated system, the probability distribution will evolve in a complicated way, and focal plane equation is used in many areas of physics to simulate such complicated way. And different complexity means different A and B. Okay, you have a system with electric field, your A is this way, or your electric field is strong. With gravity, your A is different. With the system with different viscosity in the medium or not uniform viscosity, your B is going to be some function of space, right? Okay, so A and B tells you the physics. P is where you make measurements and observe. Suppose you can observe the distribution. Let's say you repeat and then you, okay. P is where you observe. A and B is the system, the physics in there. Okay. Okay. So, and some more the P itself is the probability distribution function. It could be noisy. As you measure, it could be noisy also. Okay. This is what I say, huh? Unknown mechanism GA. Sorry, my symbols terrible. A and B now you become G and H. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's an unknown mechanism. Okay. Okay. So known P, unknown challenge. This is noisy. And you want to train a neural network to find out what is G and H. When you find out what is G and H, you can claim that I know the physics that govern this this observation, okay? Because once you know G and H, you put into this equation, you can solve for P, okay? And G and H do not depend on time, okay? And initial condition and so on, right? So, yeah. So we have P, we put in a neural network, we can, actually we want to predict, what we do is we predict a window of P minus n times delta P, a past and the future, a series of P. And then we have the target, which is a series of P. And keep in mind, P is observed, but it's noisy. So target is not so good, okay? And whereas the G and H is in here, later I show you. Okay, this target is noisy. You put in your P, you will predict a series of P and compare to the target. And you adjust your neural network until this and this are aligned. Okay, so this is how we do it. So okay, P, you see G times P, right? G times P, we connect this is a weight in the first layer. H times P is a weight in the first layer. So this whole term is this. This whole term is top one. And we have to partial with X, double partial with X. This one is we just use a matrix. Yeah, finite first order difference, second order difference. Okay, this is not blood. These are blood. Okay, and we add them. The addition sign is this guy, and then okay, this guy, partial, add them. This complete. This whole thing is this guy, and this guy. Okay, and then we just do some kind of finite difference with the time delta t. We get this. Yeah, we get this. Then this guy, this is this guy, this is this guy. This guy from here, right? Just add, we get this guy. Okay, the predicted one. Okay, so when we start off, we do not know G and H. We just give a random some initial guess G and H. Okay, and you just predict nonsense. Okay, you come out here, prediction. It's really bad. Okay, when we compare to the observation, it's really bad. And then we adjust our G and H to make it good. Okay, when it's good, we say okay, fine, we are there. Okay, so but there's another problem also. You just I was saying that the P is noisy, right? P is noisy. So you train this guy on with some prediction. We train this guy on a noisy label. So it's not very good, right? So we have to change the label as well. We change the label so that when we change G and H, when we change the label, everything are consistent. Okay, so we keep P constant, which is a noisy one. We train G and H. Now, after we train G and H, we keep G and H constant. We denoise our input P. Okay. Okay. And after we are happy with this, again we keep P constant. We train G and H again, so on and so forth. Okay. So until we have things are consistent, right? Okay. Okay. So we benchmark our method with some literature here. This popular method. Many people use focal preparation. Okay. Meteorology, biology, economics, and many more. So here, of course, just now I was saying that we do not know G and H, right? And then we want to we observe P and we want to measure G and H, right? We could have do an experiment on a box, but we will get some G and H, but we never know, right? We never know, right? So we kind of, in a way to benchmark, right? We cheat, right? We use known answer, right? To simulate our P and add noise and pretend we don't know the answer. And then we use our method to come out with the G and H and then compare to the known answer. These are known answer, right? These are actually useful, being used in other research, okay? Right? So this really to benchmark. Okay, we add noise to our clean P here, we can get clean P, then we get this. Okay. So you can see the train error. We can calculate the error of G, H, G, and H because we know the answer, right? So you can see that as we iterate more, our error is okay. Typical training curve, right? And results, right? This is for okay. Did I put okay? I think I have a label here. These three are these three. Okay, sorry. This example 1, example 2, example 3. This is X, this is B, right? So example 1, example 2, example here, example 1, example 2. Okay. Those three examples. Okay. The true one is black line. The after changing the final H is this red circle diamond, and this is the initial H. You can see that after training, we kind of go to the correct answer. Except at the boundary, we have some problem because those probability distribution here of at the very where it's near zero, we have some problem, right? To find the correct answer because we don't have enough data, right? Okay. Yeah, so this is the second part of talk. Okay, right? So I miss. Okay, I'm finishing. Yeah. Any questions up to here? Okay, yeah.
Boundary conditions are very important.
Yes.
So how do you deal with them? Your blue lines.
Yeah, two lines.
Okay, some boundaries, but what you?
Yeah, beyond the two lines, the probability distribution is very small. So we don't get really accurate answer. So we don't collect data beyond. Yeah, there's though this kind of boundary condition is not boundary physics where you have fixed, you know the boundary, what exactly the answer is. So yeah.
So you train the boundary conditions into the.
No, we just when we, for example, right, when we simulate P up to some time, we have this curve, and beyond here, probability is really small, right? We can't really train well. What's the G and H of this? Beyond here and here, what is the G and H? I don't even know because there's a big thing there. Okay, I finished this 2 minutes, just maybe. This is Schrodinger equation. I'm not sure if people are familiar. I just quickly finish. This Schrodinger equation, we try to solve the Schrodinger equation. When you solve the Schrodinger equation, we have a quantum states, quantum energy states, and quantum states of the wave function. And then if we use perturbation theory, we can write the solution of the Schrodinger equation using a known solution plus perturbation. Okay, so Schrodinger equation is really difficult to solve. Let's say a multi-particle, 1,000 particle electrons, you can solve, right? Okay, for simple case, okay, you can solve. People use perturbation theory, where lambda is small, is a small number, so lambda square is smaller, lambda cube is even smaller. So this is a neural network. Maybe I don't have time to go into so much detail. Where we use neural network is a neural network to solve for the perturbed energy and the perturbed wave function. You see, psi 0 and E0. Psi 0 and E0 we know because it's a non-perturbed Hamiltonian where we can solve this. Okay. The psi 1, psi 2, E1, E2, we don't know. But in this work, we only solve for psi 1 and E1. Okay. And using some neural network with some laws to kind of learn the solutions of the first order perturbation. And here are some solutions. The error as we go through iteration, the error in energy decrease, error in wave function, the blue line also decrease. This is actually some exact wave comparing to exact wave function. So sorry, I really go really fast, but you can ask question. Thanks.